Linda Salvin is one of the most respected and gifted spiritual psychics today. She's a healer and medium as well. With thousands of clients, Linda has helped shape the lives of people from all walks of life. But Linda was not always gifted. Linda had a normal upbringing growing up in a suburb of Los Angeles.
I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. When I was very, very young, we lived in Pacoima, and we moved on to Las Vegas, and I turned 8 years old when I was in Las Vegas. And then my family moved back to the San Fernando Valley, and I lived in Studio City and Sherman Oaks for the rest of my growing years. I attended grammar school, junior high, high school, like any normal kid. Went off to college and grad school and came home, and my life changed. I got up in the morning, had coffee and breakfast, and got into my company car and went to get my partner down in Orange County so we could fly up to San Jose for my first out-of-town assignment with the new company I was working for. I looked out at the plane sitting in the terminal, and I said, "Doesn't it look like it could crack there?" And he looked at the plane and he thought I was nuts because he didn't see anything, but I saw a fuselage or an exhaust settlement on the body of the plane. An hour and a half later, that is where the plane cracked in half on the 17th aisle, and that was February 17th, 1981, and my life changed forever on that day.
Actually, Linda was given a gift that not only changed her life, but has changed the lives of thousands of people.
A new career as a reader, people wonder why I do it, and why I do it is there's a certain personal fulfillment that I never received in science. There's a lot of people in the academic world and the scientific world and different levels of success depending on your degree and the hierarchy. But what I'm doing now is I'm changing lives. I'm helping people see things, change things, accomplish things. Maybe as the guiding light, I can shine the light where it's dark and help them see a path that they may not be able to see on their own, and I can help them to prioritize certain issues in their life. And when people call me and they start saying, "Oh, I got the car," or "I sold the house," or "You were right about my divorce," or "Yes, I got the job," or "I sold this new product," everything you told me is starting to come true. It's very fulfilling. But when I get the feedback from healings, readings, channeling sessions, which is communicating with people's relatives who've passed on, and they thank me or they cry or they're indebted, it's a feeling that I cannot explain that fulfills me, that I'm doing a job of really being there for other human beings, and that's what it's really all about for me.
And what do people think of Linda and her gift?
My 18th and 19th year were very tough times, and there was a time my mom and I did not talk, and one time I was coming back from somewhere with my dad and he stopped me in the driveway. "If you don't talk to her, get out." Just like that, and it really stunned me. And because I came from a loving, great family, and to hear something like that was crazy, and all of a sudden, Linda says they both apologize for those years of that turmoil. And over the years, I've talked to my mom and dad spiritually going, "I apologize for that. I love you very much." And she goes, "They're apologizing." And I just couldn't believe it. I had a lump in my throat. The heart was just like boom, 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 boom. Couldn't believe it. I'd never met her before, talked to her a couple times on the radio, emailed her, but she's telling me this, and only I would know this, or my parents, or my brother or sister, and that would be barely. But here's a total stranger. Boom. I'd recommend Linda's services to everyone on this planet. I've talked to her for a couple years, and I tested her because I'm a real skeptic about this, because there's a lot of shysters out there that want your money, your soul, everything, power, and all that. I've always felt Linda was very entertaining and very energetic, along with a cuddling womb sensation with her voice. I tested her the very first time 2.5 years ago about 2 women I was interested in, and one was where I worked at and one was in the building where I worked at, and I said, "Which one?" She wrote back within a day, "The second one," and she was dead on the money, and I knew it already. So as far as she goes, I mean, she's told me a lot of things over the years, and channeling and various other things, wicks of wisdom, but I highly recommend her if you really want to talk to somebody that knows what's going on. She's the real deal. Go for it. Linda Salvin has guided me in my life because I was having problems at work. I love my job, I love where I work at, but I just wasn't happy. Everybody goes through this. So I called her up one Sunday night on the radio, and she says, "Within 3 weeks, you will be promoted and out of that department." And I was like, So Within 3 days, I was promoted and out of that department. It actually felt like divine intervention, and I'm not kidding about that, because it was like a big weight lifted off my chest, and I'm very happy again. And she said this was coming, and there's other things coming down the road, which I can't divulge now, but she's on the money.
I first used the candles for my divorce, and so I needed to get a judgment on getting my house, or keeping my house. So Linda recommended I use 3 different candles for that particular petition, and it worked. I was amazed. The candles brought a lot of clarity to me and calmness, which I was surprised that I would get on top of all the other stuff that was included in the petition. I've always kind of believed in psychics and all the mediums that go along with it, but I've never really met anybody that I can really say that has been so genuine. And Linda is a genuine psychic. She's down to earth. She knows what she's talking about. She's an amazing person. I would absolutely recommend Linda. She's genuine. She's the real thing. She is the real thing. I mean, I can't even tell you how real she is, because when she tells you something, it happens.
Recently, Linda unveiled her Wicks of Wisdom candle line.
I chose Wicks of Wisdom because wicks represents candles, and wisdom is something that's innate. It's inborn in all of us. Knowledge, of course, we learn. So I thought, what a great way to be spiritual without the occult. I wanted to remove anything that was pagan and Wiccan and Santerian and anything that anybody had a misconception or conception about candle magic and make it mainstream, and that's what I have done. I took other people's ideas and then specific formulas that I was trained in and tested the formulas myself, and then as the scientist I would mix different oils and see the different results, and some were not so nice and some were the exact results that I wanted. And what started then as 3 little sets has now grown to 44 different sets in Wicks of Wisdom. We have the classic wicks and we have the power wicks. And it just depends on how intense you want to see your reaction. So most people buy the power wicks, and most people start out with the good luck power to remove blocks, obstacles, negativity. I just call it my schmutz removal. And then we go into money and success or love or whatever. And the gratification I get from people saying, oh my God, this happened or that happened. I can't believe your candles work. One more time, I am helping people, being of service, and I coined the term like a prescription for your soul. So where a doctor will give you a prescription for your medical ailments, my quote prescription unquote for the person is in the form of a candle set. So we've got Wicks of Wisdom, like a prescription for your soul.
Linda's been a client of mine for several years, and I was very skeptical in the beginning working with her, just because, you know, the candles, and I'm very much of a realist. And, you know, I told her some of my issues. I was actually at a house that was on the market for 6 months, and it couldn't sell it. And so Linda, you know, consulted me for a little bit. She said, you know, here, try some of my candles. And I lit them, I did the petitions, and literally 3 days later, I had an offer on the house and someone bought it within 30 days. And it was really phenomenal. So I came back to Linda and I said, Linda, what you did was amazing. I want to, you know, work with you some more. So she gave me other candles. I lit the petitions, did exactly and followed her directions. And my business started to boom, literally 3-fold in a matter of 2 months later.